All right, let's get this started. It is a Wednesday. We got a lot to cover because I am very impressed with last week's science projects, and we haven't looked at them yet. I'm going to crank through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 projects. But I was just going to look at the LBMS off the grid, and man, you guys did a great job on that. It is a history week. It's a history day, but we're just going to wrap up that LBMS off the grid. Really fun. You guys are going to love next week's science because it's wacky weather and there's some games and there's prizes to be won. And so you'll like that as well. So let's wrap up the science by taking a look. First off, Ezra's. You guys really did a good job. I love this project when you're at school. We build little pyramids and stuff. But in this situation, we did the best we could. Let's take a look at Ezra's first. I think LBMS should use wind power. LBMS should use solar energy because solar works in many climates. Solar energy is more affordable. Solar energy benefits the whole electricity grid. Solar panels have a long lifespan. Cons of some other energies, like how geothermal energy may release harmful gases, and wind power. Wind turbines could be a threat to wildlife and our noise and visual pollution. Also, nuclear energy, expensive to build, accidents, produces radioactive waste, impact on the environment, security threat, and has a limited fuel supply. Wind energy is environmentally friendly and doesn't use any greenhouse gases. Wind power will wipe LBMS off the grid. Nicely done, buddy. Here's our Luther Burbank. Cool. He's got does he have his, oh yeah, there's some solar panels. He's got solar panels here, solar panels here. So I thought you were saying wind power at the end, but it looks like you meant solar power because here is solar. But look at this, perfectly placed. Good map, got his own map. Good job, you got a 4. Lucky slideshow. Best source of energy, LBMS off the grid. I believe that we should use geothermal energy because it leaves the smallest land footprint. While wind power is loud and it could kill some birds, and solar power, when they make it, it makes large amount of greenhouse gases. Another reason why it's better is because the energy is replenishable, while solar power is inconsistent, and same with the wind power. If there's a rainy day or no wind, there's no energy, but the Earth's heat is still there. Also, wind turbines take a lot of land, and solar energy storage is very expensive. There are the reasons why I believe geothermal energy should be the source of energy to take LBMS off the grid. Very good pitch, and I don't think he has his map, but he did his game. Let's see what he got on his game. Good job. 2 minutes, 30 seconds, not bad. That's my best score. Caitlin comes through with a super cool foldable. That's why I wanted to show hers. She also has all her solar power, wind power, but look at this. She did her foldable water cycle. Good job, Caitlin. Maybe you have it during Zoom. You can show it to us. Beautiful. Look at this. Condensation goes to clouds. They build up. Precipitation comes down to runoff, comes down to evaporation, builds back up. The water cycle continues. Open your flaps and you see the details with the beautiful drawings of the water cycle. Look at that. Precipitation, condensation, transpiration. Caitlin, love it. Thank you. Sophia comes in with a LBMS off the grid. Very scary font there. She's going with geothermal. Notice she has an example of what geothermal is. She has her map. She shows how it could be. The red pin marks where the geothermal power plant would be placed. And look at that. With properly placed, it wouldn't even take up that much room. She found green space to do it. That takes engineering, just like the solar panels on the roofs. You have to think that through. I believe geothermal power would take LBMS off the grid because it has the smallest land footprints. And another reason I believe geothermal power would take LBMS off the grid is because geothermal power doesn't produce greenhouse gases like the other renewable energies. Interesting. In addition, geothermal power's energy is mostly replenished, unlike oil. Sadly, the mass production of geothermal is very location specific, but it's cheaper than most renewable resources. It also doesn't need to be mass production because it needs to be the right about for the school. This is why I believe geothermal power would take LBMS off the grid. I think you're right. I think if you go down low there, you're going to find geothermal. It's going to work. I love it. Good job. Brandon. Look at Brandon. I love that Brandon's got a key. Look at that. He's got his location, wind turbines, basketball courts, buildings, and roads. This is like a key. There it is. He calls it a key. And he shows you where he would place these things. And then he has why renewable energy should be used at LBMS. First of all, renewable energy costs less. Also, fossil fuels are killing the world. That one guy in the video that says renewable energy can't save the world, he wants the world to die. For all those people who say that fossil fuels are efficient, have fun killing the world slowly. Have fun killing all of us slowly. Have fun killing yourself slowly. Then the Arctic and Antarctica will melt. Think of the seals, the polar bears, the penguins. If we all die because of all you working with fossil fuels, know that we will remember you all, even though we might be dead. But not at a very good way. We will all remember you are the ones who killed the earth. Hope that you're happy. Renewable energy will change that. It will save the earth. Then you will be known as the ones who save the earth. That is why all things must be renewable energy. Powerful. Bam, Brandon. Remember, when you go argumentative, persuasive, you're going for it, man. He went for it. He's like, dude, you want to kill everybody? That's a pretty good sales pitch. Brandon, good writing. Good job. Obviously, A. Everybody I'm pitching today is an A. Matthew, good job on your title slide. Matthew's stepping it up. He's got a circle here. Look, he has his wind farm, my surfboard in the corner. Screenshotted it. LBMS should use wind power. I think that LBMS should give a thought on using wind power because wind power could use less money in the long run and could help the process of using less fossil fuels and other gases. Although wind will not always blow during the day, but that's okay because during the night wind will most likely blow, and so maybe we can find something to hold all that energy like a battery. Good job. So if there's no wind blowing during the day, then we will use that extra energy that we gathered from the night and use it during the day until the wind kicks up again. Awesome, buddy. Great job. Once again, everybody, you should share these slideshows with your parents, brothers, sisters. Even literally, some of you guys, you could send this to like Miss Moore, and you could say, "Hey, Miss Moore, I want you to see my slideshow on why LBMS should go off the grid." All you got to do is type her email, share the slideshow, and she has access. You can share it with like a mayor or a congressman. Say, "Hey, look at this slideshow on renewable energy. You should give us money to go off the grid." This is how powerful you guys are getting at producing content to change things. Look at Emma's. I love Emma's because she put in all the work. Look at all these little windmills. I like it that it's a different map that I've ever seen. It's a different style of map. And so that's pretty cool. And you can see where everything is. And she's got her windmills nicely placed. Windmills can be placed in such where something is ground space, open ground plan. The windmills should be in a place that has somewhat a lot of wind. That means they need to be tall, I think. Also need to be there is open plan of space where the wind is strong, reliable. Although the windmills are quite expensive, they're very good for the environment. They should be spaced out. I think if they do last a long time, they're pretty good, but I do feel bad for the birds. And some people thought you could make windmills and have the basketball net on them as long as the windmill's tall enough. All right, let's see. Water cycle, last one from, I don't even know who this is. Anyway, figure it out. I believe that none of the three renewable energies in this slideshow are a good source of energy. After lots of research, I found that hydropower is the best for the environment. Hydropower is fueled by water, so it's a clean source of fuel. Meaning it won't pollute the air like power plants that burn fossil fuels such as coal or natural gas. In addition to a sustainable fuel source, hydropower has a number of benefits such as flood control, irrigation, and water supply. Solar energy is not as good as hydropower. The initial cost of purchasing a solar system is fairly high. Solar power is weather dependent, although solar energy can still be collected during cloudy and rainy days. The efficiency of solar system drops. In addition, they take up a lot of space. Wind energy isn't good for the environment either. Electricity from wind energy must be stored, like in batteries. Wind turbines are a potential threat to wildlife, such as birds and bats. They chop down numerous trees to set up wind farms, and it creates a negative environmental impact. Noise is a complaint with many wind farms that are close to communities, so that's why hydropower is the best choice. Dude, whose is this? I can't even figure it out right now. It just says, what is it? That's weird that it says water cycle. It's kind of interesting. And look at this. Bonus. Did the water cycle drawing. Whoever this is, you definitely got an A, man. That is great writing. I don't know why I'm not finding your name anywhere, but that is great writing. Good job. All right, now, moving on. Great job. Remember, if I didn't get to yours, I graded them all. They all look great. We just don't have as much time to show them all, but you can show them in a breakout room. When we go to breakout rooms, you can say, hey, can I show you my Luther Burbank? You can show it to a friend, family member, brother, sister. Like I said, share the link. All right, bam, back to ancient China. Woo, that was fast. So, you kicked this off with Miss Carter. If you have not opened to this yet, we now have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to get it done. Remember, this is in courses. This is in history. It was a Tuesday that likes like a Monday. You should have basics done. Today's top slide is in groups. We are basically going to make a top slide, and you are going to say, my favorite philosophy. Now, we are moving into, hold on a second, somebody's at the door. It's Sel coming by to get her computer. All right, so my favorite philosophy, and the favorite philosophy is of the three, Confucianism, Taoism, or Buddhism. Now, philosophy is a little bit different than religion. Although once you start diving into theology, the study of God, and philosophy, which is more like the study of logic and mind and how things work, and psychology plays in a little bit too. there's a little bit of overlap. But philosophy is different than religion in the sense that you can be a lot of philosophers do not believe in any God. They just they philosophize of like why things happen, why do things work, logic. If this is true, can that be true? And so it's kind of a lot of mind. There's a lot of stuff about the mind and how life works and things work, but without the God part. But then a lot of philosophers are also theologians, because as you deal with how do things work, how does life work, how do humans work within this society? If there is a spirituality, there is a God, then obviously that's going to come in play. So the theology, the study of God, will impact the philosophy. And Aristotle, Plato, some of these ones we studied in Greece were some of the not the earliest philosophers, but some of the earliest writings we have on philosophy. So they impacted a lot of things. And now we're in Chinese philosophies. So China had their own little mind and thoughts going, totally separate from Greece. Now, a lot of it seems to be the same, which would kind of make sense, because if you're discovering truths, then those truths you can find no matter where you're at on the planet. If there is a God, then obviously you would start to find what that God is. And so you're going to see crossovers in religion and philosophy and different things. But usually when we're talking about these three, even though Buddhism is more of a religion, most people consider Taoism a little bit more of a philosophy. And then for sure, Confucianism would be in the category of philosophy, which means it's dealing with the relationship of humanity, but with or without the God part. So just based on this video and your research, which one of these three do you like the best? Confucianism, Taoism, Buddhism? Now, we are going to dive into the yin and the yang a little bit more tomorrow on our Thursday, Friday epic, and we're going to actually read from something called the Tao Te Ching, which is a cool little book, and we're going to do one more grapes activity with that one, and you're going to read it out loud. We're going to study it, and I'm going to try to make I'm trying to make things a little bit easier. It seems to be harder with all these CRs, but we're going to dive into some grapes and some philosophies with the Taoism in the book that sparked the yin and the yang. So we're going to do that as our Thursday, Friday epic. So you will know more about it. So this is not something like you have to pick forever. You might be a Christian and you'd think Christianity is better. You're Jewish, you think Jewish is better. You're Islam, you think Islam's better. You're atheist, you think atheist is better. But actually, atheism, you can be atheist and still go with the Taoism or Confucianism. You probably wouldn't go with Buddhism, because Buddhism definitely has spiritual realm. All right, but based on the video, you're going to make this slide. But before we do that, let's do a review with Isaiah's Ancient China. That's what we're diving into. Remember, basic concepts, get it done. You can get a C, maybe even a B. Ancient China is one of the oldest and longest lasting civilizations in the history of the world. The history of ancient China can be traced back for 4,000 years. Located in the eastern part of the continent of Asia, today China is the most populous country in the world. China geography, there's tons there. We won't go into it too much, but it's a huge, they have everything. They have deserts, oceans, rivers. I mean, they have everything. It's huge, bigger than the United States. Look how big that thing is. And it borderlines the Himalayas. There's India. The Xia dynasty, we're not going to dive that deep into these dynasties. It's just good to know that they had their own dynasties, empires. Remember when we had Assyrians, Akkadians, things like that? Well, these guys had their own dynasties. One of the earliest one was the Xia dynasty. Then we have the Shang Dynasty, about 1600 to 1000 BC. Remember, this range here, the Shang Dynasty is going on. They're known for their math, astronomy. Well, totally different. They're not even in contact that we know of with Abraham and the Babylonians and the Egyptians. Remember, all of that is going on at the same time while the Shang Dynasty is going strong in China. We have the Zhou Dynasty comes up later. They have agriculture. It's at a different, remember, China is so big that these dynasties kind of went to different areas. And when you get later, you'll study about the Great Wall of China. Then you have Taoism. Now, this is what we're diving into today. Also spelled Taoism, indigenous to religio-philosophical tradition that has shaped Chinese life for more than 2,000 years. You're going to learn about it now. It's the yin and the yang. There it is, the yin and the yang. Yang is concept of dualism, describing how seemingly opposite or contrary forces may actually be complementary. So basically, everything's connected. So you think, oh, something bad happened to me? Well, that bad is going to impact and become good, and then the good is always good, obviously. But it's not really bad. You don't think of the dark as bad. It's more like it's forces. It's like positive and negative. Negative's not bad. It's just the opposite of positive in electricity and magnetism. So it's the yin and the yang of life. Tao Te Ching, we're going to study tomorrow by Lao Tzu. We're going to read this. We're going to learn about China from an original source. Zen Buddhism, the essence of Zen Buddhism is achieving enlightenment by seeing one's original mind or original nature directly without the intervention of the intellect. To be a human being is to be a Buddha. Buddha nature is just another name for human nature, true human nature. Zen is simply to be completely alive. So it's just a little bit of an evolution of regular Buddhism. Now, Confucianism, you're going to find about something in the video. The importance of having a good moral character, which can then affect the world around the person through the idea of cosmic harmony. And the emperor has moral perfection. His rule will be peaceful and benevolent. So Confucianism, there's a lot of crossovers to Taoism, but Confucianism is very practical. You don't get quite as much as into the meditative state. It's actions. So don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, be calm, speak calm, and everything's gonna be fine. Zen Buddhism, Taoism is more like get yourself in this centered place, and from that centered, calm place, you will not lie, not cheat, not steal, you will speak calmly. So one's dealing with actions more, one's dealing with more of the spirit first, and then the actions come after. And then, of course, Chinese legalism, we're not going to focus on that much because I want you to just go with the 3 today, but if you wanted to, you could pick legalism. This is like more like government rules. It's like you will not lie, you will not cheat, and you will talk kindly to others or we will beat you. So all 3, they have the same goal. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. Christianity, the same. Legalism is like, in legalism, you can find that philosophy in a lot of different religions. If you do those things, you are punished. Where true Christianity, true Buddhism, true even Jewish, it should come from the heart. Love your God, love other people, do other people as yourself. And then all these rules you'll just follow because you want to instead of if you have to. All right, there's a quick overview. Let's do it. Let's watch our video, create our top slide, go to breakout rooms, let you guys catch up. Let's do this. Have a great day, everybody. Video time.